Let's be real for a second. Navigating a new relationship is terrifying enough on its own. Now, imagine doing it while promoting a movie, writing a memoir, and having millions of eyes watching your every move. That is exactly where Minka Kelly finds herself right now. The beloved Friday Night Lights star has been making the rounds to promote her new Netflix holiday rom-com, Champagne Problems, but the real headline-grabbing story this week hasn't been about movie scripts or festive sets. Instead, it's been a masterclass in the difference between forced confession and safe vulnerability. In a whirlwind 24 hours, we saw two very different sides of Minka opening up about her boyfriend, Imagine Dragons frontman Dan Reynolds. One interaction was creamy enough to make us hide behind our pillows. The other was so sweet, genuine, and emotionally raw that it instantly restored our faith in love. Here is the full breakdown of the awkwardness, the romance, and the dossier moment that has us all swooning. The safe space. Magic happens with Drew Barrymore. If there is one person in Hollywood who knows how to make a guest feel like they are chatting on a cozy couch with their best friend, it's Drew Barrymore. On Wednesday, November 19, Minka appeared on The Drew Barrymore Show, and the vibe was instantly different. There was no prying, no gotcha moments, just two women talking about the terrifying beauty of letting someone see who you really are. Drew, 50, brought up a rumor that sounds like the plot of a romance novel. Was it true that Dan read excerpts from Minka's deeply personal memoir, Tell Me Everything, before they even met face to face? Minka's face lit up. The guard came down. The terrified text. Minka explained that a mutual friend had set them up, but because she was out of the country working, they couldn't meet immediately. They were stuck in that modern talking phase, FaceTiming and texting. I accidentally just said, "What a crazy day today. I just turned in my final pages of my book," Minka recalled to Drew. Now, pause. Imagine you've just written a memoir detailing your childhood trauma, your deepest fears, and your life story. Would you send it to a guy you haven't even had a first date with yet? Dan Reynolds, being the absolute rock star he is, pun intended, responded immediately, "I want to read it." Minka's reaction was relatable to anyone who has ever felt too much for a partner. She told him, "Well, okay, well, here you go. You'll either be terrified and run for the hills, or you'll see the beauty in all of it." This is the crux of intimacy, isn't it? It's handing someone the map to your damage and waiting to see if they use it to hurt you or to find you. He fortunately was the latter, Minka gushed, her relief still palpable years later. And it just made us closer. Drew Barrymore nailed the sentiment perfectly, adding, God, if we could all come with a dossier about our lives, how amazing would that actually be? It's a profound point. We spend so much time masking in the early stages of dating, trying to be the cool girl or the chill guy. Minka and Dan skipped the games and went straight to the soul. The strange and awesome bond. It wasn't just Minka taking the risk. This relationship, which began in 2022 following Dan's divorce from Aja Volkman, has been built on a foundation of artistic exchange. In a previous interview with People, Dan Reynolds shared his side of this dossier exchange. While he was reading her life story, Minka was reading the lyrics to Imagine Dragons' album Loom. "I've never had that kind of introduction to someone," the singer admitted. He described hearing her life stories from youth to now before ever shaking her hand. He called it a really strange and awesome way to bond. Why this works? Intellectual intimacy. They connected over their art and their words, not just physical attraction. Radical honesty. There were no skeletons left in the closet because Minka handed him the key to the closet on day one. Safety. Dan's willingness to read her story helped them understand each other on a deeper level quite quickly. The awkward pivot. What happened on the Today Show? To appreciate the warmth of the Drew Barrymore interview, we have to look at the stark contrast of what happened just 24 hours prior. On Tuesday, November 18, Minka sat down with Jenna Bush Hager on the Today Show. The segment was supposed to be about champagne problems. The energy was professional and light until it wasn't. Jenna Bush Hager, known for her bubbly and sometimes unfiltered interviewing style, tried to make a hard pivot from the movie to Minka's love life. Speaking about the holidays and love and this rom-com, you have a very big love in your life right now, Bush Hager launched. Talk about your relationship, if you feel comfortable. Narrator voice. She did not, in fact, look comfortable. Minka's body language shifted. The smile became tight. But in the world of morning television, the show must go on, and Bush Hager persisted, bringing up a specific Instagram post Minka had made for Dan's birthday. "I think you posted this birthday message saying he healed wounds he didn't inflict," Bush Hager pressed. "That's beautiful." The quote that stopped us in our tracks. Despite the awkward delivery, the quote itself is a powerhouse. He healed wounds he didn't inflict. Minka, ever the professional, agreed. "Yeah, it is beautiful. I feel very lucky, he's a really good guy." But the air was thick. It was clear Minka wanted to keep that part of her life sacred, or at least discuss it on her own terms, not as a scene from a holiday movie clip. To her credit, Bush Hager eventually read the room. "Okay, sounds like you don't want to talk about it. That's fine," she said, retreating. The internet, of course, had feelings. It was a reminder that just because a celebrity dates a rock star doesn't mean they owe us the details of their romance at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday. Healed wounds he didn't inflict, unpacking the emotion. Let's go back to that phrase Jenna quoted, because it is arguably one of the most beautiful descriptions of healthy love we've heard in a long time. What does it mean? Many of us enter relationships carrying baggage, scars from childhood, trust issues from exes, or insecurities we've battled for years. The toxic route, a partner who pokes at those wounds or makes you feel broken. The Dan Reynolds route, a partner who didn't cause the pain, but who creates an environment safe enough for you to heal. When Minka says Dan healed wounds he didn't inflict, she isn't saying he fixed her. She's saying his presence, his consistency, and his reaction to her dossier proved that she was lovable despite the scars. It is the ultimate green flag. It is the difference between a fling and a partner. Why we are rooting for Minka and Dan. Minka Kelly has been in the public eye for decades. We watched her heart break on Friday Night Lights. We've seen her navigate the tabloids. At 45, seeing her find a love that is grounded, artistic, and deeply supportive feels like a victory for everyone who is still holding out for the real thing. The contrast between her today show appearance and her Drew appearance teaches us a valuable lesson about boundaries. With Jenna, she protected her peace. With Drew, she shared her joy. Both are valid. As she promotes champagne problems, it's clear that Minka doesn't actually have many problems in the romance department. She has a partner who read the terrifying chapters of her life and didn't run. He turned the page, looked her in the eye, over FaceTime, and decided she was worth it. And honestly, that's better than any rom-com script Netflix could ever write.